Detecting Talk of the Day, Sunday, 12 November, 6:45 Central Standard Time. Folks that are following me, are you paying attention? We're going to talk a little bit here this morning about what if. What if? Y'all see that detector right there? That's a discontinued model and it's still being used, okay? The Minelab E-Track. What if? And what I'm talking about here is sort of in relation to this Manicore. It has a screen on it. That machine there has the screen on it, So what if Minelab, when they released this machine, now I went in here and selected that discrimination pattern. See that? I wonder if that's the only discrimination pattern when you turn that machine on that machine offered when people bought it. And they give you a screen in there, whatever, 4 or 5 little slots you could customize. People would have got that machine and they'd have started sweeping it. Now the question is, using that screen right there on that detector, will it find every high conductive coin this machine is capable of finding? Maybe that's coming out good in that camera right there. I'll give you the short answer. The short answer is no. This stuff in this screen down here, see that in the bottom of that screen down there? When you get down there sort of, I don't know, down around past the 28 line, the Minelab, when they were making this machine, they wasn't, this term Ferrous limits wasn't talked about. They just call this discrimination. But in reality, is that stuff down there on the bottom? Is that like a form of Ferrous limits on the Manicore? Okay? We already know that won't detect every coin in the wild that machine is capable of because that bottom is setting up too high. Okay? It won't do it around here, folks. Okay? Because you're going to get some high conductive coins where you'll sweep over them and that thing will jump down there, around the 25, 27 line on sweeps for Ferrous number. That's what Minelab called that. They were calling that Ferrous and conductive. Okay? So if that's all you would have had and you'd have used that, well, you might have used that machine for 2 years. And yes, it will find coins like that. You wouldn't be none the wiser, would you? What if there was no internet? What if you wasn't one of these people that experimented or you didn't even have a buddy to talk to? And he's like, oh, look, you let that down there in the bottom, boys. You let that down there, boy, this thing it gives better tone and even locates deeper coins. Let me turn this camera off briefly. So anyway, but Minelab offered some different discrimination selections in this machine, didn't they? I can go up there and show them to you, but I won't. Okay? So when they did that, people used some of them and they caught on, didn't they? And then they decided how they would run their machine, the E-Track. Now the CTX is very similar, by the way. Okay? So, in this screen on this detector here, on the E-Track, you ever get a signal that reads low conductor with a high Ferrous number? Did you ever see a 0330, a 0333? Could you even get such a thing in that detector? Probably tough, wouldn't it? You notice it was the right side, lower right side on this machine is really what you had to worry about. And the left side of that screen over there in the lower conductive range, you didn't have to worry about having discrimination dialed in over there, did you? Never seen anything really report over there. So this Manticore, you know, I don't know if it's got some of the same fingerprints in it from the FBS technology or not. But if you're running that Manticore at all-terrain low conductors, I mean, I'm just going to lay this out there, you know, as more people use this machine, if I open that machine's upper ferrous limits up on the Manticore, now not the E-Track, if I open them up at 75, all the way to the end, if I just get rid of upper ferrous limits on that machine, what's going to report up there? I wonder. I say very little, actually, to be honest with you, based on what I'm seeing. Okay? But see, Minelab supplied that machine. They didn't give us any options, did they? Other than they give you a custom. As far as turning the machine on, it's set preset and everything comes straight down from the top, equal across the board. Okay? Sort of like that machine there in the bottom. See that? So that's what they gave us. Well, enter the bird dog that old Sharpshooter has discovered with this machine. I'm going to be doing some more experiments today. I may go back down here to this high iron sight, the first one I showed yesterday. And here's what I may do. I may go in there and leave that block open. Run the discrimination over to where the block starts. The upper ferrous limits where I've got the block open, where it starts. Run discrimination over, all the way over to 67 or 8. I'll look at it. Take the machine back down there. Sweep it in that sight. And let's see what we hear. Would everybody agree? If we don't hear very much tone there, then the machine is definitely not, you know, it's not falsely much, is it, boys? That may be what I do, okay? But I may show some tests here locally on top of the ground with those very same settings on some nails, nickels, and gold rings. So you'll hear what the machine sounds like when it encounters such a situation. Okay? Yeah, I'm also going to be looking at this M8 call, and we're going to look at some, I'm going to try to get some relics, buttons, smaller bullets, and let's see how they behave, because most of my testing has involved gold rings and coins. We'll look at some modern trash, okay? Some smaller non-ferrous, all right? So for you that are following this, you know, there could be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. How about that? That's the truth. I just used the word gold there, get it? I think I'm on to something with this machine. Now I will say this. Full disclaimer, being honest as I can be. Based on what I've seen so far, this is not going to help you unmask high conductors with this Manticore, okay? But this system on the Manticore that I'm using, far less burdensome. Extremely far less burdensome than using the Bird Dog on the DS2. The Bird Dog on the DS2 is capable. It is far more burdensome in higher iron sights based on what I've seen. But the DS2 has capability to strike high conductors coming down the barrels of nails. The Bird Dog on the Manticore has no such capability that I've seen. Now, I've only used all-terrain low conductor on the Manticore. I've looked at other modes. I'm going to stay on all-terrain low conductor till I get it nailed down. I've got it pretty close, boys and girls. Okay? So, what I'm saying, there's some people, you know, I've seen some comments. Oh, well, people run that Bird Dog on that DS2 and it falls. Somebody posted a video about the, you know, where I showed the Manticore. Oh, that won't work. Well, you better think again. Better be thinking again about that. It's sort of like the boy that cried wolf. But I'm letting you know right now that this Manticore Bird Dog, based on everything I'm seeing, is very usable. Less burdensome. And offers some advantage versus running that machine with conventional upper ferrous limits. Okay? You heard it from me right here on this channel. Okay? I'm not going to say it's perfect because I've not swept the damn thing everywhere in the world. But all I'm saying is you users out there, you need to be experimenting and you may see, okay? That's going to conclude the video. Stay tuned.